Hey guys, it's Bennett. Welcome back to the channel. We have another box of Allen Ginter 2025. You know how much I like this product. Before we get started, please consider subscribing to the channel if you're new here. Hit all the other buttons, like the videos, comment, all that other good stuff. I just want to get that out of the way so that we can get into this product and have some fun. Ginter is one of those oddball products, like I always talk about, meaning that we're going to see a lot of sort of weird stuff in here. The potential for a big hit exists in a relatively cheap product, but they're few and far between. Okay, we're looking for two hits. We're guaranteed, two of any autograph, a relic, printing plate, rip card, I should say, a book card, which are redemptions. And we're going to get into this box, new configuration this year. If you haven't seen my new release video on this one, when it first came out, we pulled a pretty solid box. We pulled a rookie stained glass out of there, a Thomas Agassiz. Go check it out. It'll be a few weeks ago now when I post this, maybe a little bit more, depending on when this video goes up. We are looking for two hits, like I said, per box. Generally, they fall one per side with the new way they've configured this. And let's get into it. The hits can be mini framed autos. They could be larger autos. It could be a bunch of different things. We're going to see chrome, well, like this one. It's Dario Franchitti. Wish I could pronounce his name. These are regular chrome. If it's a refractor, you'll see that it'll say refractor in the top corner. The refractors fall, I think, one per box. These minis will be normal backs like this, or A and G backs, which will be shorter prints. So we will put those aside once we pull them, though if it's not of a big rookie, it doesn't really make a difference. We're looking for Nick Kurtz. We're looking for Yoshimoto, easy for me to say, Yamamoto. We're looking for Jacob Wilson. There's a refractor, so that's a Joe Torre refractor. If that's our one for the box, Joe Torre's not necessarily who we were looking for. There's Matthews. There is James Wood. I don't know if these are shorter printed. These always look a little bit different than the regular minis. So I'm not sure if that's a short print. I'm not sure what the story with these are, but I got to check it out because every time I see one of them, I say I'm going to check it out, and then I forget to. And then, you got big autos in here, right? You got Ohtani's a possibility. Judge is a possibility. So there's, again, there's some real potential to pull something big out of these. But it's hard. What I'm looking for, I love rip cards. So I'm looking for a rip card. Rip cards oftentimes will have red ink autos numbered to 10, hand numbered to 10 in them. There's Kim. There's Andrew Benintendi. There's Clark. I don't know why I'm putting Andrew Benintendi over there. I have like a one-of-one Benintendi auto out of a big product I can't sell. So I don't know why I'm putting a chrome Benintendi out of this. There's Ichiro, Posada, Campaneris, Baum. There's Guerrero Sr. on the Angels. There's Gordino, who is a musician. So that's the shorter printed Allen Ginter box. Allen Ginter back, I should say, but that's Gordino, who's, I guess, a bass player for somebody. I'm not really that concerned. Doesn't do anything for me. There's Ruth, Duran. There's Bogarts. That's a Hertz Chrome Halter. And there's a Greg Maddux Wicked Curve. I don't know if I would say Maddox's curve is a wicked curve, but I see why they put him on the insert. All right, there's Rooks, Jimenez, Naylor. We're going to get a shorter printed card here of Berrios for the Blue Jays. There's Yount, there's Rooks again, and there's Eddie Murray. I hope 2026 is off to a good start for everybody. There's Bryan Cranston, Ty Cobb, Ozzie Smith. There's Shaw. There's George Sisler. There's J.J. Bleday. That is a mini of Kirby and Blake Snell. I was looking, I don't know who I was looking for, but I came across like Snell's like stats, I guess, or his personal information. Blake Snell, I saw Blake Snell was like 6'6" or 6'7". I don't know why he just never really occurred to me that he was that tall. There's Tatis, there's Buxton, there's Luke Keeschel, there's Raines, That's, that's Pujols on the back. And this is a mini of Beaching It. What does that say? I almost said Nut Beach. Newey Beach. Anyway, there's a little postcard from Newey Beach. All right, we only have 3 packs left on this side, so I would expect to see a hit in one of these 3 packs. That's at least how this thing has been configured. And as I'm talking about it, that's a hit. That looks like that might be a framed auto. Let's hope for something big. There's Drew Thorpe. There's Kobe Mayo. Kobe Mayo is hiding. Who are you hiding, Kobe? Okay. That, I believe, is an actress, maybe? Laura Prepon auto. So not exactly what we were looking for. So there's a Laura Prepon auto, not numbered, framed mini. The framed minis are very cool, but that's not who we were looking for. There's Max Fried, and there's a shorter printed border on the mini Dizzy Dean. There's Andy Pettit. Let's hope that second hit in this box is a little bit better. I mean, listen, I'm laughing about that, but, every now and again you can hit. There's Jacob Wilson. You'll hit an auto of an entertainer or somebody you don't know. You'll look it up, and then all of a sudden they have a big following, right? Normally it's the musicians, not the actors, but, whatever. Still cool. I'm sure she's got fans out there. I'm just not one of them. There's a Pete Crow Armstrong on the chrome. There's Brandon Nimmo and Oral Hershiser. And we're into the second half of the box. There's Weber, Jeter, Aaron. There's a Nick Kurtz. First Kurtz we've seen. There's Allen again, although different Allen, obviously. That's Dick Allen. There's Bliss on the mini. Put him down. And we'll keep on trucking. Guys, if you enjoy these openings, please, like I said at the beginning of the video, consider subscribing to the channel. Please like the video if you've made it this far. There's Logan Gilbert. And drop me a comment. So there's Blake Snell. Yeah, Snell, I looked it up. Blake Snell's like 6'7" or something. He just doesn't look like that on TV. It's crazy. But I guess, it's true in every sport, right? You see these guys play, they're surrounded by other big guys, and you just don't realize necessarily the size on them. Mays, there's Larry David, there's Churio, there's Pee Wee Reese. That's Abner Powell. Is that who? The Abner Powell. And there was Luis Gonzalez, I think, winning the World Series in the 9th inning. There's Callaway, Butler, Rodriguez. There's Clemens, Wynn. That's a Holiday. There's a Light at Night. This is Pigeon Point, the Lighthouse. And there's Kerry Wood on the Wicked Curves. Now, Kerry Wood had a wicked curve. He deserves to be on that card, for sure. That blew his arm out. His curve was so wicked. Okay. Let's see what we got. There's Stan the Man. There's Ripken. This is a Pee Wee Reese. Normally you only get one of these a box. Did we get 2 of these? I think we did, right? We got 2. There's Reagan. Biggio. This is a mini of Reggie. A's Reggie. That's pretty cool. And that is Chris Bryant. Winning with the Cubs. Chris Bryant still had a career. There's Keenan Thompson, Blake Snell, Keane, Rhett Lauder. There's Clemente. That's Cal Raleigh. On the chrome, that's Darryl Strawberry and Jack Morris. All right, come on, second hit. Where are you? Where are you? There's Nolan Arenado, Rooker, Trout, Beltran, Noel, La Russa. There's a Willie Mays mini. And that is Alex Bregman, who I think, as I'm recording this, I think Bregman just signed Bregman. Somebody just signed Bregman. Could have sworn to a pretty big deal. There's Ohtani, there's Betts, Green, Gilbert. There's Lugo Chrome. That's Joe D on the mini and Johan Santana. Also had a pretty wicked curve. All right, we have 4 packs left. 4 packs left. Let's see something. Come on, A&G. I always sing your praises. I love this product. There's Holiday again. That is Sodello. That's Cara Maria Sorbello. Don't know who she is. Reality TV star explains why I don't know who she is. There's Alex the Great. What does it say? A licensed therapy bunny mini. A licensed therapy. He's wearing a hat. Of course he's a therapy bunny. Only bunnies who wear hats are professional bunnies. Gotta have a license. Okay. I wonder if the Trump administration considers that a professional position. There's Roki Sasaki. There's Cal Raleigh. Now, it looks like we got another hit. Is this another auto? If it's another auto, please, can we make up for what we saw before? This is... That's a Dave Winfield auto. Well, that's pretty cool. We'll take a Dave Winfield mini auto. That's much better. There you go. There's a Hall of Fame Winfield auto. That's Winfield with the Padres, where he started his career in 73. I think Dave was a rookie in 73. Winfield was drafted, if memory serves, he was drafted in baseball, football, and basketball. He was one of the great athletes of his day. Chose to be a baseball player, but that's a very cool auto. There's Jockenzie Noel. That's a mini of Barry Larkin, a shorter print. And there's a Wicked Curves Dennis Eckersley. We're happy to get 2 autos in a box. And the second one being a Hall of Fame auto. That Dave Winfield auto is very cool. I'll take that. I am not disappointed with a Dave Winfield framed mini. That's pretty cool. All right, let's finish out this box strong. We get an O'Neal Cruz, a Max Fried. There's... Who is this? This is a yellow... Oh, no, not a yellow. Willow goldfish, which is the official state bird of Washington. All right, Washington, a willow goldfish. Never heard of that bird, certainly. I had no idea. Could have given me 1,000 guesses. Never would have gotten it. All right, let's see what we got in this last pack. Chung, Pete Crow Armstrong. There's Matthews. That's Hunter Green on the chrome. There is a short print of Ernie Banks. Let's play 2. And there's Juan Marichal on the Wicked Curves, who also is purported to have had a wicked curve. So this is the hit of the box. It's this Winfield auto, but we got a lot of other cool stuff in here. This is a good box of A&G. I'll take this. Like I said, I don't know who this young lady back here is. Laura Prepon. I bet if I ask Sophia, I'll ask my lady. Maybe she knows who she is. And then we got a bunch of rookies in here. We got the shorter print of the Barrios. I got to check on this James Wood to see if that's a shorter print. I'm not sure the way that this is set up. And that's it, guys. That is 2025 Allen Ginter Baseball. Thanks for joining me. Hit all the buttons, and I will catch you in the next video.